Islam true if it cannot stand up in the marketplace of ideas without the protection of a gun or prison? Indeed, does not the truth welcome criticism and debate?
I would kindly request whoever asks a question to limit the question to the merit of the discussion. However, I will give Mr. Deedat a chance to answer this question. But whoever has a question, please limit it, because Mr. Deedat here is not to defend what governments are doing. He is only here to explain what he explained already. Now, Mr. Deedat.
See, the question is quite a rhetoric one about Muslim governments, their policies with regards to people coming in and perverting their people. From the point of view of the Muslim, is a perversion. From the worship of the one true God, people want to take away our children and worship human beings, created beings. To us, it is the highest form of blasphemy. Worship, instead of worshipping God, worshipping his creatures. So if the governments are trying to defend, I'm not defending them, but I said if they are trying to defend in the best interests of the people, that is their business. But now, at the same time, it also poses another question from my side, that the Christian missionaries, you'll have to now acknowledge that they're using deceitful methods. Deceitful. Look at this. Look at this. This book here. No Muslim child will ever think that this is Christian. Look at this. Al-Kitab, Arabic calligraphy. You see, deceiving the Muslims in the guise of Islamic book. This. At close view, if you have, you see, how easily the Muslim is being taken up by this. Al-Kitab. This calligraphy is Islamic, but actually is the Gospel of St. Matthew. Can you imagine? Deceit. Now, I want to know whether your Christianity allows you to deceive people. In Pakistan, on my way, I delivered a lecture. While I am walking out, people all around, they surround me, they're shaking hands, congratulating me. A small boy, about 12 or 14, he comes to me and he presents these three to me. This. Look at this. He presents this to me. I take it. I felt like kissing it. That's our habit. Allah's kalam, if we come across, we kiss it, but the crunch was too great, people, so I put it quickly in my pocket. For about 3 to 4 days, I had no chance of taking it out. Believe me, I'm not exaggerating. I'm moving from place to place. I have no time. When I go to the hotel, I'm tired. I take off my jacket and throw it down one side. Then in Abu Dhabi or somewhere, I took it out and put this on my table next to the bed. Still, I'm not looking what it is. Then now, to move further, I said, now let me weed out all these papers that I've collected. And I start looking at this. I'm reading Allah Muhammad. Look at it. Allah Muhammad. I'm reading Allah Muhammad. I turn the back, it's calendar. Another one, beautiful calligraphy, Islamic calligraphy. Look at this. In 100 years, the Muslim child will never know what he's harboring in his house. Sticker, beautiful sticker. He's going to tear this out and put it in the Quran, stick it in the Quran. You know what? Deceit. Christian missionaries, this is what they're doing to our people now. Deceiving them. This one here, he says, back of it, he said the Lord's Prayer. I said, Lord's Prayer? We don't talk like that. The Lord's Prayer says Al-Fatiha. We say Al-Fatiha, the opening chapter, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, opening chapter, the Lord's Prayer. So what's this? Abbana. Say, oh our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, in Arabic. Calligraphy, deceitful. You see what you're doing? Deceiving the people. This one here is not Allah Muhammad. For a week I couldn't see it. Look at this. Everybody says Allah Muhammad. Am I right? What do you see? It's not Allah Muhammad, it's Allah Muhabba. God is love. Deceiving people. I ask you, my brother missionary. You see, you're protesting. I said, look, is this your way of propagating your faith? If you have something good, why don't you go out openly and talk to them? Give them your calligraphy, your language. Why? What are you trying to catch fish with? What are you doing now? Deceiving people. And here, another one. Coming from Ghana, a letter addressed to the Arab countries. I must read it to you. What they are trying to do now. They're sending parcels, literature into Muslim countries, and on the top of it they put rubber stamps. This is asking now, do you think that if I send you bigger parcels, about twice or thrice the sizes I sent you with our franking stamp, which has the name Islamic Madrasatul. Islamic Madrasatul. I don't know what it really means. But as soon as the postman, the government man says, is there Islamic Madrasatul inside. Your religion allows you to deceive people like that? In the guise of, Jesus Christ truly described them. He says, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. They're trying to deceive you. You must be beware of them. So, brother, I'm not defending my Arab brothers. In Pakistan, you have the freedom there. Pakistan, your missionaries are making inroads. In Bangladesh, you have the freedom there. In India, you have the freedom there. See? In Indonesia, Malaysia, you have the freedom there. If some Arabs, are more stringent in the regulations, but you're still getting through. Look, by deceit, by post, by radio, you're getting through. So what are you complaining about? What is your complaint? We have a legitimate complaint. Books that the Christians write. Every book. Inside, why I became a Christian. Sultan Muhammad Paul. When you flip the pages, verses from the Quran. For the Muslim, these verses are sacred, sacrosanct. Every child, every grown-up will kiss it and put it next to the Quran. Why? Because Allah's kalam is, He will not tear it, He will not burn it. You know the psychology of the Muslim, and you're taking unfair advantage of it. Look at this. From Sufism to Islam, John Abdul Subhan. Look at this. Deceit. Does your religion allow you to deceive people like this? Catching fish? No, you tell me. So what are you crying about? What are you complaining about? In Africa, you have 35,000 full-time crusaders. Jimmy Swaggart, he's boasting that he's getting through to 22 million Muslims through his radio service, 22 million. I'm asking, what are you crying about? Please. Don't, like. But since then, the Christians have evolved different systems. They have, sophisticated. They're more sophisticated now. So they come into this, the verse I quoted you from Surah Maryam. So they have tried to find fault with the Quran. They tried to find fault with the Quran. Previously, they were attacking Islam, the holy prophet of Islam. Attacked him, attacked Islam, attacked the Quran. And they found that they couldn't gather honey with that. So they changed their methods. They are master psychologists. They are in the field. For at least 300 years, they are doing the job. They know psychology. So they tried different methods. Now they write books by the Orientalists. So they write, it says Muhammad was a sincere man, but a false prophet. See, he was a sincere man, but a false prophet. They would say that we find no deliberate deception on the part of Muhammad. Muhammad didn't deliberately deceive anybody. But poor man, he was an illiterate, he didn't know what he was doing, so inadvertently he was deceiving the people. We find no deliberate deception on his part. Now they study the Quran, and they're taking us to task. They're forcing us to study the Quran. You know that? So from Surah Maryam, we read there, the birth of Jesus. After the Annunciation, she goes away to a remote place in the east, and when the child is born, she returns with the babe. As the Quran says in Surah Maryam, I think verse 23, it says, فَأَتَتَ بِهِ قَوْمَهَا تَحْمِلُهُ. At length, she brought the babe to her people, carrying him in her arms. قَالُوا يَا مَرْيَمُ لَقَدْ جِئْتِ شَيْئًا فَرِيًّا. They said, the Jews, they said, "Oh Mary, truly an amazing thing has thou brought. Ya ukhta Haruna, O sister of Harun, ma kana abuki imra'a sawin wa ma kanat ummuki baghiya." Says, your father was not a man of evil, nor thy mother a woman unchaste. They are insinuating, how is it that you brought this child without a husband? We know you are not married. Alleging that this child is illegitimate. Your father was a good man, your mother was a good woman, and now you bringing this child, being an unmarried girl. What is she to do? She knows that this was no ordinary child. So, as Allah says, فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ, but she pointed to the babe. Ask him. And by a miracle, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam spoke according to the Quranic tradition. This is said, Qala inni Abdullah. So most certainly I am the servant of Allah. Atani al-kitab. He has given me revelation. Waja'alni nabiyya. And he has made me, and so on and so forth. But now, the Christians are reading this. The Quran, they're reading and studying the Quran. And they are posing us questions, problems. See, I was delivering a lecture in Johannesburg. At the end of it, Christian missionary, during at question time, he says, Mr. Deedat, your Prophet Muhammad was illiterate, an ummi. I said, yes. But he said, not only that, he was ignorant. An ummi, an illiterate person, might be able to lead. God has given him self-knowledge, intelligence, and he can still lead, though he can't read and write. But an ignorant person will mislead people. So your Prophet, not only he was an ummi, but he was ignorant. So I'm asking, what are you talking about? What are you referring to? He said, look in the Quran, chapter 19. It says there, Ya ukhta Haruna, O sister of Harun, who? To Maryam alayhi salam. He said, you see, your Prophet didn't know the difference between this Maryam, the mother of Jesus, and that Maryam, the sister of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam. They had a sister called Maryam. The Westerner calls her Miriam. In Hebrew is the same. This Miriam and that Miriam are the same. In Arabic, this Maryam and that Maryam are the same. But for convenience, they call this one Mary, and the other one they read in the word Miriam. See, they anglicize this one Mary, but it's Miriam, Maryam, same. So you see, your Prophet didn't know the difference between this Maryam and that Maryam. He's confused. So he says, a man who doesn't know the difference. There's 1,300 years difference between that Maryam and this Maryam. And your Prophet didn't know. So poor man, he's misleading the people. He's thinking that this Maryam's father, was Harun. Probably she had a father called Harun, or a brother called Harun. He says, no, he's confused. See, now this is a new study they are doing now. You have to be prepared now. And I think, alhamdulillah, they are actually forcing us to read the Quran. Without these people, we are still carry away Khatmul Quran, chanting away, without knowing what we are chanting. They are now waking us up. They say, look, this is something wrong here. So now you have to put on your thinking cap, go to your alims and find out what is all this thing about. Is there any truth in what they are saying? So, you see, what are you going to say? Ask our learned men, they'll tell you, says, no. You see, this is a manner of trying to speak about the seriousness of the matter, that your father was a good man, your mother was a good woman, and you come from such a noble family, the family of Harun alayhi salam. See, because the imamat in the Bani Israel was a family tradition. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam were Levites, the priestly class, the imamat of the Bani Israel, the imams. Among such a family is Maryam alayhi salam born. So you come from such a noble ancestry. How is it now that you brought a child without a husband? Christian says, no, your Prophet didn't know the difference. He's not prepared to listen. The Muslim will hear this and he accepts it. Yeah, no, I can see the point. I can see the logic, the reasoning. Why Ukhta Harun? Why sister of Harun? But the guy who's looking for trouble, he says, no, your Prophet didn't know the difference. So I was confronted with this, and because of the type of reading that I'm doing, dealing with the Christians, talking to them, see, Allah Bari Ta'ala, from his ilm ladunni, he tickles you. No Jibreel comes to you anymore. Anybody you come across who tells you he's hearing voices, send him, take him to a psychiatrist. I don't hear voices. But Allah Bari Ta'ala in his wisdom, he gives it to you. Ilm ladunni is from his own presence. You get it. So I said, the answer to your problem is in your own book. This problem you are creating, the answer is in your own book. He said, where? I said, the first book of the New Testament, the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. I don't know whether you'll forget. Book 1, chapter 1, verse 1. The answer is there. To your problem about Ukhta Harun. He said, what does it say? I said, it says, this is the generation of Jesus Christ. The birth of Jesus, his ancestry, his genealogy. The son of Abraham, the son of David. Right? He said, right. That's what he said. The son of Abraham, the son of David. So he is Abraham's son, and he is David's son. Abraham is his father, David is his father. And then in the book of Luke, this is Joseph the carpenter, who being the son of Joseph. Joseph is his father. In the book of Mark, he said God is his father. A guy who's got 4 fathers. What do you call him in your language, colloquial language? What do you call him? A man who's got 4 fathers. What do you call him? I'm asking him, what do you call a guy who's got 4 fathers? What do you call him? He said, no, it doesn't mean that. So what does it mean? He says Abraham is his father, David is his father, Joseph is his father, God is his father, he's got 4 fathers, Jesus Christ. So no, it doesn't mean that. What does it mean? He says, no, you see he comes from the prophetic tradition of Abraham and the kingly family of David. He's the supposed son of Joseph the carpenter, but really he is the son of God. That's it, you see? And that's what I'm telling you, that Ukhta Harun does not necessarily mean sister of Harun. Is son of Abraham doesn't mean son of Abraham. Then why should it say the brother of sister of Harun mean sister of Harun? Now this is a different type of knowledge. I agree. And I know you don't find this in books. This is practical speed in some.
من المتابعين الجدد اشترك الآن في القناة ليصلك الجديد بالضغط على الزر الأحمر أسفل القناة مع تفعيل الجرس، ولا تنسوا دعم المقطع بلايك. شكرا لكم جزيل الشكر.